Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of FPLTIPZ's live streams. I hope you have all had a good week. I realised today that I streamed this time last week, but we've had 2 game weeks since I last streamed, so got a lot to cover. I didn't stream last Thursday as I planned. I've got a lot on, very busy, a lot of work to do, so unfortunately it is one a week at the moment for you all. Of course, though, I'm always available on Twitter, Instagram, the lot, if you want to come and ask me any questions that you need answering that you can't get answered on stream. Just before we jump into it, of course, my sponsor, Fantasy Football Factory, www.fantasyfootballfactory.co.uk, FFS 10%, FPL tips, and 10% off for every order and a free pen. So yeah, let's get into it. We've got quite a lot to cover today, and I'm sure you've got a lot to ask. So yeah, we've got blank game weeks, double game weeks, what's happening with Liverpool, what's happening with City, game week 30, game week 31, game week 32, the lot of it. 9, I scored 43, as you can see there, just above average. The game week before that, I scored 55, again, just above average. The week before, thanks to Mane and Trent the week before, and this week, thanks to Jimenez and Trent again, I suppose, keeping me in where I am. So yeah, 43 is not great. I saw me get another slight red arrow down to 88k, still in the top 100, which is my target. Really is top 100. I mean, definitely don't want to be outside of top 100 this season. Top 75 is sort of, I think that's where I should be finishing, and top 50k, are we pleased with that? So that's the ideal. Top 50k is the target, but hopefully the blank and game weeks will do the trick. I made a very late decision. You might have seen on Saturday morning. You might have seen I made a very late decision of doing Doherty to David Luiz. Now this didn't pay off at all, actually, and I think I would have been 1 point better off if I hadn't have made the transfer. But knowing that Doherty, well, fairly certain that Doherty wasn't going to play, knowing that Doherty wasn't going to play, I brought in David Luiz as that was my transfer anyway. So yeah, I mean, 1 point's not very much. So going player by player, Fabianski and Boric both scoring 6. Fabianski with a clean sheet, Boric with a penalty save. When Boric saved that pen, I was thinking, oh no, I've made the wrong choice. But away at Man U, you were never going to start Boric. Trent, max bonus points. Then the only other player returning is Jimenez. So we'll skip past this week, I think, and we'll go straight on to next week. So I'll get up, show you my team for next week, if I can find it. There we go. That is how I'm setting up for next week currently. It does see... hi Connor, welcome everyone. Sorry, welcome Josh, Vince, Zebra, Super Sport Gaming. The lot of you, thank you very much for coming back again. This is how I line up for next week. A few things need to be decided. Firstly is David Luiz versus Jimenez, and then secondly is which goalkeeper I'm going to play. I will be banking my transfer because I've got, one player that I'm quite happy to start on my bench. Jimenez I could play. At the moment he's benching him because I have Luiz, and as a Chelsea fan you have to back your boys at some point, don't you? I just brought him in, so I feel like I kind of need to play him. I will be benching this. I will be banking transfer. I'll be banking my transfer this week and then doing Sterling, Son and Kamara into Hazard, Fraser and Jamie Vardy for the doubles, for the blanks, giving me 11 players taking 1 hit. So yeah, all in all, I think I'm set up quite well for the blanks. My bench will be Pogba, Wan-Bissaka, Jimenez, so 1 from each defender, midfielder, striker. So yeah, that will be my plan, and I'm sure you've all got a lot of questions into the doubles and blanks and how we should best tackle them. So yeah. So you're thinking the game's moving backwards. See, this is it. Vince is saying Jimenez must surely play versus Chelsea. Don't be biased. Jay is saying, stay loyal, Jimenez on the bench. I think my initial gut was to bench him. And one of the reasons that I think will be, which will decide it, is at the weekend, on Friday and Saturday, we saw a lot of news on the Wolves team, didn't we? And I'm sure all of you read it all thinking who's going to play, who's not. And that's why I ended up selling Doherty. And that team predicted Jimenez on the bench. Now, Jimenez didn't get on the bench, but that team was predicted thinking that their next match was the Cup, and forgetting that they then had this Chelsea game before the Cup when they could rest players for the Cup. And Jimenez has had a few rests, but not loads. So this weekend could see him. I know it's Chelsea, but he's got bigger fish to fry. He's got bigger fish to fry. That cup match is much more important. So will he want to risk Jimenez in that game? Probably not. Maybe. We'll see what happens. David Luiz also gets assists. And actually, looking at my budget, I had enough to do Azpilicueta, and I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't think about it. I have so much spare cash, I should have done Azpilicueta. And I will be hopefully getting my brother to bring in Azpilicueta over Luiz, and he scored like 12. He got an assist, not 12. Got an assist this weekend, so which is a pain. But there's not much that I can do about that. But yeah, at the moment, Jimenez will be my first sub. So yeah, Son starts tonight. I mean, I still imagine that. Because if you, people are saying on Twitter just now that Son might be rested at the weekend. But if you have a look at Spurs fixtures, so yeah, I jumped down about 900 places. So this week, which is all right. They have Dortmund, then they play Southampton. And then the Tottenham Crystal Palace match is postponed. So after Southampton, they don't play in the Premier. They don't play a match until double game week 32. So from the 9th to the 31st of March, they don't have a game. So I'd be surprised if he rested him versus Southampton, especially with the results they've been having. I think I want to turn out and absolutely demolish them. He has what, a 22 game rest, 3-week rest there. I absolutely don't think he'll be rested, to be honest. He's played a lot, but I think he'll be rested. What was the score in the first leg of the Dortmund? They won 3-0. He'll probably get taken off early as well tonight. I wouldn't worry if he had Son. A lot of people on Twitter are saying that he might get rested just now, but I don't think that will happen. Yeah, Son is a beast. He rarely misses a game. Played 7 games in January. He should be fine, I think. He is knackered, but that is when he's going to get his rest. Those 22 days, 23 weeks or something, when he doesn't play a match. Yeah, Son is a beast. Not a beast FPL-wise the past few weeks, which has seen him being sold by a lot of teams. Let's have a look at quite how many. 50k teams have sold him. You can see Dortmund going through. They've got to win 3-0. They've got to overcome a 3-goal deficit. I think that's unlikely that they go through. We'll see what happens, but if there's an early... if Spurs score, then I think it's all but over. They won 3-0 in the first leg. But yeah, guys, get me into your thoughts. Lots of questions I'm sure you have about double game week 32, and then both the blanks and the players you should be bringing in. I've got a few players in mind, so fire them away and I will get answering all your questions about the doubles and blanks. So yeah, get them coming. In terms of my team, Rondon has been a bad buy. Mane's been quite a good one recently. He scored twice last week. I'm quite happy with the way my team looks. My whole defence has a favourable home fixture. In terms of Fabianski and Boric, I find this quite hard to decide. I feel like I want to start Boric because I know it sounds stupid, but Fabianski has kept virtually no clean sheets all season and never kept 2 in a row, and he just kept one. So I think it might be Boric actually. So in terms of Hazard, and why he came off early, I mean, so he was playing not great against Fulham to start with, right? So that's part of it. We have the cup match. We have midweek football. Let me just get Chelsea fixtures up. I'm looking forward to, by the way, especially with next year when I'll be living in London, I will be going to Chelsea more often. So the Chelsea eye test will be fully out in force for you all next season. I'll be going almost every week to their home games, or every other week to their home games. So we have Wolves, Dynamo Kiev away, Everton away. Dynamo Kiev we beat. Oh no, this is leg 1. Sorry, I do apologise. So we have Kiev, Wolves, Kiev, Everton. So we have 4 games that we will want a strong side out in the space of 10 days, compared to Spurs who play about 1 game in that day. But anyway, so this is why players are getting rested. And this is why David Luiz was rested against Fulham, because he will want Luiz for all of these games coming up. Kiev, Hazard will probably start. He will probably, at home to Kiev this week, try and go and absolutely win it 4-0 or something, so that in the second leg we can rest players then. This is why I think Hazard and a few people got rests this game. I think he will want to win that first leg by a lot, so that he can then rest players early on. I wouldn't worry about Hazard. Hazard is coming into my team for that Everton game and then the West Ham game. He'll be in my team for 2 matches, but I'm quite happy. You love Kiev's. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about Hazard or the Chelsea minutes. I think we'll be playing full teams over the next few games. And I wouldn't worry about the score against Fulham. We should have scored a lot more. And we didn't have a full-strength side out because we thought it was Fulham. We nearly made it difficult for ourselves. And well, we did make it difficult for ourselves. But I think it was probably the right call with the games we've got coming up. Not necessarily easy games. So, best Dortmund options, Connor Harrison asks. King, Fraser, Brooks. So, in terms of defense, if you want a defender, Boric is a very good option. He's 4 million or something now. Then if you want a defender, I'd be going Nathan Ake for me. Budget is not a real limitation for us going into those blanks. We have a lot of the players that we're buying in are fairly cheap. So I would be getting him, Nathan Ake, if he actually played midfield at the weekend. Then in terms of, there are 4 attackers. Brooks and Fraser in the midfield, or King and Wilson. Now, it's the same story that we've seen all season when they've had a fit team. It's those 4. The 4 of them should play. I have to make a decision on Brooks v Fraser, and I don't have a clue where I'm going to go. Now, the only thing is, Brooks tends to play more centrally and higher up the pitch than Fraser does. So, which is why I'm tempted to go there. Wilson versus King. King is on form, although when Wilson plays, Wilson is the number 1. So if Wilson is fit and we see Wilson play this weekend, then I would go for Wilson. So Wilson and Brooks are probably the 2 that I'd suggest there. Ooh. Anyway, let's just so yeah, keep firing away all of your questions. Blanking. Sorry. Let me just, so keep firing all your questions. So now I want to move on to Salah and Liverpool. And if we look again, Salah has been sold by, let me just confirm, it's 40,000 teams have sold Salah for this game week already. which is I find a very strange decision if you're an active player really selling him and someone that focuses on the game. Unless you're free hitting in 31, I suppose, but I still think it's not a great move. Burnley at home, he's still quite likely to be my captain for that week. Although my captaincy pick could go to almost anyone in my midfield, probably not Pogba. Salah, again, looking at those game week 30, looking at those game week 31 fixtures, a lot of the players that you want are not expensive. So I don't really see, it's not like you're needing to sell Salah to free up funds to get someone else. So I find it very strange that people are selling Salah. I wouldn't be selling him. I'd be keeping him. Last time he dropped in form, I sold him. And then that was just before Christmas. And then he went on an absolute rampage. So that's why I've transferred out Salah this week, I think. Vince, I still wouldn't have done that. I would have got both of them in for the doubles. I would have had both of them in for the blanks even. I wouldn't be selling Salah, personally. I think he's still got a lot to offer. It's not like he was invisible. A lot of things still go through him, but he's just not quite at the confidence we sometimes see him. But I still think the talent is definitely still there. Liverpool, again, haven't been conceding, and a lot of people, and I was listening to Planet FPL pod this morning, or yesterday, and they were saying double Liverpool defence with Mane or Salah is a better option. And again, it goes back to this thing of I have so much budget that I don't want. If I have double Liverpool defence, then I suppose then I would have so much money left over. I'd have so much money left over if I had double Liverpool defence. So for me, I can see why people want them because they are returning a lot, and it's not a stupid idea. But I still think they're going to score a lot of goals, and I'm very happy with Salah and Mane in my team for that. You did Son to Hazard and Aguero to Vardy. I mean, in terms of the blanks, they are great moves, but in terms of game week 30, it isn't. For a lot of people, including myself, this game week 30, well, really, game week probably 28, 29, 30, have sort of been stepping stones, sort of preparing my team preparing my team for the blanks while putting out as strong a team as I possibly can, but focusing on the blanks. I mean, I probably wouldn't ever bring in Rondon if I didn't need to, but Bournemouth and Trent are outscoring Salah the past weeks. This is true, and he is. This is true. Liverpool defence are outscoring him, but then Robertson's not going to get a 20-point Hoyle every week. I suppose nor is Salah. Just for me, going into those blanks, I feel more confident with Salah, Mane, and a Liverpool defender. It's just my preference. I'm so priced out of Robertson now. I'm never getting him in my team. I'm so priced out of him and Van Dijk. I'm never getting them in. I'm not paying 7 million for Robertson. I know he returns as much as he did. I just got something in my mind. I'm not buying him. He's been put away. Trent will do for me. What's happened, Chris? Yeah, I just want one of them. It's just not for me, that double Liverpool defence. I've always had a sort of saying, a sort of thing that I go by, is not to double up on defence, and I'm going to stick by it. I find doubling up on defence doesn't pay off more times than it does. Okay, for Liverpool at the moment it does seem to be, but as soon as you bring them in, they'll not keep a clean sheet for 3 games or something. So for me, I just don't want it. I just never double up on defence. I mean, for the blanks is something slightly different because of the reduced options, but yeah, not for me. Someone said about Aguero and him this week, and I imagine he'll start again. They got Champions League midweek, but if Jesus is fit, we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow night. But hi Bryce, welcome, thank you. thank you for coming by. Welcome. Make sure you hit that subscribe. I stream once a week, if not more, when there's a double game week or something like that. But yeah. So Aguero, the best captain pick you feel this week? I feel like his minutes are going to be reduced again. I still think he's a talisman at Man City. He will be the biggest scorer at Man City, but his minutes, I just can't get on board with how many minutes he's going to play this week. We'll wait and see. If he doesn't play and Jesus is fit to start against Schalke, then he'll play in the league. But what's a bigger game for him? Watford at home or Schalke in the Champions League? I think Schalke's a bigger game for them, but we'll see. He likes Jesus in the Champions League, so man's looking like Tom Holland. Isn't he the one who's Spider-Man? And if that is the case, thank you very much. Tom Holland, he's the one who plays Spider-Man, isn't he? Yeah, well, what a compliment that is. But yeah, that's a bit bright. There we go. How many players do I plan on having for Game Week 31? So as I said at the beginning, Bryce, I'm banking my transfer this week and then bringing in Sterling, Son and Kamara are making way for probably Brooks or Fraser and then Hazard and Vardy. So I'll be having 11 players. Yeah. Exactly, he could start both and I probably do see him starting against Watford, but it will be reduced minutes. And whether he can do enough for you in those reduced minutes is something else. I remember him frustrating me playing 60 minutes every week, but he can score more than enough points in that time. He probably will be a good captain pick this week, and I think there are a lot. It's not like City are the only people, so I think there are plenty of alternatives to Aguero this week. This is true. When has Aguero needed more than 60? He hasn't. Vardy differential captain this week. Fulham at home. Fulham absolutely can't defend, so not a bad call at all. Although for me, there are enough nailed on good captains for me that I wouldn't be going Vardy if I had him. I'll be getting him in next week. I went Son to Hazard and Aguero to Vardy this week. Sterling or Salah captain this week for you, tips and why? I find this hard because you probably went 1 week too early there, Chris, but who knows? That could still pay off. That's quite a close call, that, Chris. At the moment, it's on Salah because I feel like his bounce back is inevitable. Sterling just doesn't fill me with confidence captaining him. It could even be Mane, but Mane isn't consistent enough, nor is Sterling. I mean, Salah hasn't been recently, but for me, I think it might be Salah. It might even go down to, and I have this silly thing where if I don't know who to captain, I captain the player that kicks off second, who kicks off last. Does anyone else do that? Anyone else captain the player that kicks off second? Or if I have my two goalkeepers, they do play at the same time, I've already looked. But if one of them played on Saturday and one played on Sunday, I'd have the one who played on Sunday in my team if I couldn't decide. And so City play at 5:30 on Saturday, but Liverpool play at 12 o'clock on Sunday. So it'll probably go to Salah for those reasons, and those reasons only. I have silly little not stereotypical things, but like things that I do, like don't double up on defence. If I can't decide, I pick the player that's playing second. Oh yeah, never captain a player in the early kickoff in the first games. If that goes badly, you ruin your whole game week. This is why I do it, because even if I'm having a bad week, I know that my game week can still recover. Whereas if you captain an early player and it goes badly, then you're like, oh dear. But yeah, Chris, looking at that, anything could happen. But yeah, I'll give you my one of these things. I will give you my hashtag tips pog this week, guys. Thanks to his missed penalty. So your screenshot. So Bryce. A few of you might be new here. Connor. So what I do basically is if you tweet out your team with that hashtag, it's a new hashtag every stream. This time is hashtag #TipsPog for Pogba for missing that penalty. And if you tweet out a screenshot of your team with that hashtag, and then put some comments like any free transfers, any money left in the bank, I then draw them all up on my stream so everyone can see them, and I run through what I would be doing and any advice I'd give you for your own individual teams. So yeah, that's what happens. So if you tweet that out, I'll get to that in 5-10 minutes or something. Put it out slightly before, just so that everyone has time to tweet it out. But go and do that. Now we move on to game week 30 and captaincy picks. We'll do them all in one. You had Pogba captain. That is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. I feel sorry for you. Although top of my mini league did have Pogba captain, which made it slightly better. So in this, I have one mini league. Some of you might have heard me talk about it. Where I get my hair cut, my barber. They have a big mini league, 70 people, £10 entry. I won it a couple of seasons ago. That was a big one. My first season really on Twitter, I won it. And I'm currently sitting in about 4th. First and second are a long way ahead. So it's sort of fighting for third. Top 3 get paid out. So, but yeah, that's the big league for me. Yeah. Anyway, game week 30, yeah. There are a lot of favourable fixtures for a lot of players that we have. So I'd imagine we see our first high-scoring game week we've had in a while, like a 60-plus average. I'm hoping we have one of those, that everyone gets points. We've seen so many of these low-scoring game weeks recently that I think everyone's getting a bit fed up of it. A lot of people are getting very frustrated. And I'm not one of them, but I'm ready for a high-scoring week. But yeah. I've had Pereira with 0 points. I've practically played with 9 players the past 2 weeks with players scoring 0. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry too much, Chris. Things can happen. Hazard might score. We know what Hazard's capable of. And we know what Vardy can do. So, you could end up doing very well out of it. And it could be a very good differential move if Aguero does blank. Or even just Vardy scores more than him. In terms of captaincy picks, I really would be looking at a Man City or a Liverpool attacker. It's probably where I'll be going. Son is tempting, but his form isn't there. But then nor is Salah's, I suppose. But I think Salah is going to be the man with the armband for me this weekend. Yeah, Man City or Liverpool. If you don't feel confident in one of them, then maybe Vardy or Son if you've got them. If you've got none of them in your team, then I don't really know who is in your team or how you're setting up. But yeah, one of those is how I'd be looking. In terms of predictions, Southampton are in good form too. Yeah, they're not on bad form, so probably won't be Son, but it won't be Son, but anyway. Now game week 30 predictions. So Palace Brighton I expect to be fairly nothing. Fairly probably 1-1 that game. Chris, did you DM me your team? Can you please tweet it out? Can you tweet it out, not just... Oh, it might not show up, actually, Chris, so I'll get it there. Yeah, don't worry, because you've got a locked account. Yeah, so Palace Brighton, I expect not much out of that game. The early kickoff on Saturday. Cardiff West Ham, I expect West Ham to win, although Cardiff 3-1 West Ham, similar result for Bournemouth. Bournemouth need to bounce back. They've had a lot of bad results on the bounce. Leicester Fulham, I think 2-0 Leicester, I think gets off to a good run now. Newcastle Everton, I'm going to go with 2-2 there. Hopefully some goals for Solomon Rondon. If he doesn't play, then Jimenez comes in. I'm only playing one striker for about the first time ever. Spurs Southampton, I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs. Harry Kane to score again, and maybe Son to get one of them, the other one. Man City Watford 3-0. I expect another clean sheet there. Probably Aguero with at least a goal and an assist. Hopefully Sterling gets involved. Liverpool-Burnley, probably 2-0, although we could see a late Burnley goal, as they often do. Chelsea-Wolves, I hope for a nice 2-0 win there with a clean sheet. Arsenal United, finally. I think United will probably edge that. And I will be going with a 3-1 United win. 5-0 City could possibly happen. I think people underestimate how good a side Watford are at the moment, though. Watford are playing very well. Let's have a look. Getting quite a few sort of results on the bounce. They beat Leicester. I mean, they lost 5-0 to Liverpool. Right, that is true. But they have, apart from that, they have been grinding out results for a while. Is he still out, Connor? That's not good. That's true. They did lose 5-0 to Liverpool, but City just don't seem to be scoring goals. They seem to be creating chances, but not scoring them. But anyway, has anyone tweeted it out? If not, I can load up. Okay, we'll just jump into these. Display capture. So there we go. That should be showing up for you. Let me just check that that's loading fine for you before I... Yeah, so this is Chris's team. Sorry, what notes were there? My team, no transfers left. Okay. Well, looking ahead to the next blank to the game week, you got punching, I suppose. You've got 3 in defence, a goalkeeper 1, 3, 3, 1. If you're not including punching, which means you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the bench. Okay, so you're probably going to be turning out 10, probably, maybe 11 if you include punching. Team looks strong. A lot of home games for good fixtures this week. So yeah, good luck with that. I think that's a perfectly good team. You should be performing well, I imagine. No one else. All the regulars who normally tweet out their team haven't done, so aren't here tonight. So don't worry, we will just get back to it. It is, as you all know, Shrove Tuesday today. I'm waiting for my housemate to get back from athletics training, and I'm going downstairs to make my pancakes. I'm looking forward to that. Have you all had yours today? Had your pancakes on Shrove Tuesday if you do that? I am looking forward to it. I've been saving up. I am hungry, but stream comes first as always. Yeah, how long have we been live for? 40 minutes? Okay. Yeah, well, I suppose there's not that much more to say. We'll just put final questions in the chat, really. I don't have that much more I want to cover. What we have on my pancakes, here we go. Yeah, just fire in any questions you want. Anything goes. What will I have on my pancakes? So I've got a little bit of lemon sugar, but my favourite is golden syrup. Nothing beats it. Golden syrup on pancakes. The pancakes are just an excuse to have golden syrup, really. I cannot wait. I am absolutely starving. Had a long day. I get up, have a bowl of cereal in the morning, go to the library to do my work because I'm in my final year of university, so I've got a lot of work on. I have a sandwich in the library which I take with me. I know, sad, I know. And then I come home and then I have a good dinner normally. Well, normally a lot of it, not necessarily that great, a bowl of pasta or something, but a lot of it because I'm normally starving. Yeah. Golden syrup, exactly. Can't. I hope you've all had your pancakes. Everyone must have them. What do I study? I study business management, and I'm at Durham. I've got my dissertation is due in. How's my maths? 17 days. 22nd of March it's due, which is a Friday, and luckily they'll get 2 days after it. There are no game weeks. It's a blank. It's the international break after, so I don't have to worry the week running up to my dissertation being due. I don't have to worry about doing my transfers or anything. But I'm pretty far on with it, so hopefully I won't be needing to cram in those last few days. Yeah, business and management though, I do find it interesting. I enjoy it. Yeah, I do enjoy it. But you know, I'm quite ready. I'm looking forward to starting work in September. Really looking forward to it. But yeah, okay. If that's all you've got to ask, then I will say my goodbyes. Thank you all for, if you ask any questions now, I will still answer them. Thank you all for coming by and watching once again. I do really appreciate all the support that I get. Have been struggling a little bit with the number of views, comments, the number of subscribers and things like that. Oh, you've just sent me your team, have you? Okay, I'll do that in a minute. But yeah, I do really appreciate you all coming. Yeah, I've been struggling with the sort of views, the subscribers and everything like that. So all the support I can get, tell your friends, the lot, it really does help. It means a lot. Been trying to keep it going as much as I can with the blanks and things like that. But yeah, I will do my best to keep it going for you all. So yeah, here's your team. Your team is nice. Duffy in there. Okay. Just looking for the blanks. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6. Okay, you need to focus your transfers. I don't know what your chip strategy is, but you need to be focusing your transfers on those blanks. Definitely be focusing them now. But yeah, your team has a strong base, especially you got a lot of the big players that you need for those weeks, and you got a strong team out this week. Good luck with the differential caption. You deserve that to go well. Have you ever tried cold showers? Chris, I did mention your team. Sorry. Yeah, this will be up on YouTube not very long ago, and not very long. So just go and check it out. It's just 5 minutes before this, and we are currently at 44 minutes, so it'll be about 40 minutes in. Have you ever tried cold showers? I mean, I've had a cold shower occasionally, but rarely. But yeah, let me move that out the way. You didn't see that. I didn't move it to the top on the actual screen. There we go. I'll do that all again for you. Yeah, this is your team. Strong base. You need to be focusing on transfers. Bryce, let me know in the chat what your chip strategy is, but you need to be focusing on those blanks definitely now. The likes of Pogba, Son, Duffy, and then the 3 on your bench. None of them play, so that's 6 players. So you probably need to be making 2 transfers next week to have 10 out next week. Just before we go, I want to talk to you all about, and I want to get sort of your opinion on it. Well, is a lot of people have been asking me about whether a -4 to bring a player in for game week 31 is worth it or not. 31, yeah, to bring in a player for 31. Now, if you're bringing in a player for 31 to play, you'll then probably need him in 33 as well. Okay. If it's a -4 to bring him in, if he blanks in 31 and 33, he scores 2 points in each, which is 4. And that makes up for your -4. So, yes, a hit is definitely worth it. But if you are bringing in a player for 31, but then you've got players on your bench like Wan-Bissaka or Son or something like that, who then, or even Aubameyang, who will then take their place in game week 33, then they need to score 4 in 31 for it to be worth it. So if they're going to play in your team and not bench anyone, and they're going to be making up the numbers in 31 and 33, it definitely is worth it. Minuses count as half in blanks. Well, if you're going to be playing them in both, absolutely worth it, which is why I'm taking a... I'm going to be taking a -4. If they're going to be covering spaces and making up numbers in both 31 and 33, absolutely worth it. People not selling because they want to keep value in players, I understand that, but you need to try and turn out as many as possible. So yeah, after all that, thank you all for watching. I'm always available on Twitter. If not, I will see you same time next week, same time every week. Please like the video, comment on the video, subscribe, tell your friends, the lot, retweet my things on Twitter saying about my stream, really is appreciated. Thanks guys, and I will see you all next week. See you guys.